beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then, wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort. Prithee, peace. He receives comfort like cold porridge. The visitor will not give more so. Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike. Sir. One, tell. When every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer, $1. Dolor comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed. You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should. Therefore, my lord, fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue. I prithee, spare. Well, I have done, but yet you will be talking. But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit, as many vouched rarities are, that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water. What impossible matter will he make easy next? I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple. And sowing the kernels of it in the sea bring forth more islands. Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort. When I wore it at your daughter's marriage. You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost, and in my rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. Oh, thou, mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee? Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him, and ride upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land. No, he's gone. Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she, at least, is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on't. Prithee, peace. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of their business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own. So is the dearest of the loss. My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster. It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy. Foul weather? Very foul. Had I plantation of this isle, my lord, he'd sowed with nettle seed, or darks, or mallows. And where the king haunt, what would I do? 'Scape being drunk for want of wine. In the commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate. Leathers should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service none, contract, succession born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard none, no use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty. Yet he would be king on it. The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning. All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavour treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have, but nature should bring forth of its own kind all foison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people. No marrying among his subjects? None, man, all idle, whores and knaves. I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age. Save his majesty. Long live Gonzalo. And do you mark me? Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me. I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs, that they always used to laugh at nothing. 'Twas you who laughed at, who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still. Nay, good lord, be not angry. No, I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy. Go sleep, and hear us. Also soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so. Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy author of it. It seldom visits sorrow when it doth. It is a comforter. We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety. Thank you. Wondrous heavy. What a strange drowsiness possesses them. 'Tis the quality of the climate. Why? Doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep. Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian, oh, what might! No more, and yet methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be, the occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head. What? Art thou waking? Do not you hear me speak? I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakest out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep, with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep. Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep, die rather, wink'st while thou art waking. Thou dost snore distinctly, there's meaning in thy snores. I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do trebles the awe. Well, I am standing water. I'll teach you how to fly. Do so. To ebb hereditary, sloth instructs me. Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth. Prithee, say on, the setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and the birth indeed which throws thee much to yield. Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade, the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned, and as he that sleeps here swims. I have no hope that he's undrowned. Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned? He's gone, Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples? Claribel. She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post. The man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable, she that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by their destiny, to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge. What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space. A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Say this word death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chow of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do, what a sleep were this, for your advancement. Do you understand me? Methinks I do. And how does your content tender your own good fortune? I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero. True, and look how well my garments sit upon me, much feeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men. But for your conscience? Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not the deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, whilst you, doing thus to the perpetual wink for eye, might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour. Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gott'st Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword, one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee. Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo. Oh, but one word. Now, good angels, preserve the king. Why, how now, ho? Awake? Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking? What's the matter? Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly. I heard nothing. Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions. Heard you this, Gonzalo? Upon mine honour, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one, too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes oped, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons. Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son. Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.